There is somebody on YouTube whose videos are unlike anything I've seen before. He's not really a traditional YouTuber or content creator. He's a filmmaker, an artist, and a storyteller above all. He's not motivated by views or likes or subscribers, but his channel went from 0 to 300,000 subscribers in less than a month. His last name is Neistat, and no, it's not Casey, it's Van.
My name is Van Neistat and I'm a filmmaker.
Okay, now I'm not saying that Van is a better YouTuber than Casey. Or am I? I want to know what makes Van's videos so damn good. But to really understand Van, we need to go back before there was a Van or Casey Neistat, just the Neistat brothers. It's the year 2000 in New York City.
Happy 2000!
Apple had just released the first version of the iMac that came with the video editing software iMovie.
You know how easy it is to take your home videos and turn them into movies? Get an iMac, of course, get your digital video camera, hook it up, and start iMovie.
Van and Casey took their tax returns and bought iMacs. They maxed out their credit cards, bought a camera, and started making movies. However, they didn't have any type of traditional training.
I can describe it perfectly. When you open up iMovie in Apple, the free software, there's a tutorial. That's kind of where my formal training began and ended, and I think...
Same.
The Neistat brothers were making movies for anyone who asked, and they weren't using high-level equipment, just the type of camera that the average person had in their home. And because of that, they were able to adopt a very unique style of filmmaking. And eventually, they started getting noticed for their work.
Two local brothers, sick of losing their bikes, decided to expose their plight in a video they made that's been all over the internet and getting national attention.
Casey and Van went viral before going viral was really even a thing. Literally like 3 years before YouTube started. Both brothers together were pioneering a new wave of filmmaking on the internet. And then HBO had to come and screw it all up. Well, not really, but kinda, yeah, they did. Because of all of this crazy attention that the Neistat brothers were getting, they were noticed by the television producer Tom Scott. They ended up working with Scott to create and sell a show to HBO called The Neistat Brothers.
This show's about my brother and me, but this is not a reality show.
So, it looks like we're really gonna get this TV show. What happens when your dreams actually start to come true?
Van and Casey's lives were about to change forever, or so they thought. While the show received positive reviews, nobody really watched it, and they weren't renewed for a second season. Devastated, the Neistat brothers split up to do their own thing. Van decided to move to California to pursue his art, while Casey stayed in New York to do what he knew best, making videos for the internet. His film Bike Lanes, his Nike ad Make It Count, and his daily vlogs that he started in 2015 catapulted Casey to the pinnacle of internet stardom. And you would think that all of this crazy success that Casey was finding online would cause Van to come back and start making videos again for the internet. But for whatever reason, he didn't. Until now. So now, in 2021, 10 years after the Neistat brothers split up, Van Neistat is creating content for YouTube. And Van is creating content in a way that I have never seen done before. Not even from Casey. Van was able to go from 0 to 300,000 subscribers, create a community of people that align with his message, and change the way that people view and create content on this platform. All in about a month. And sure, Casey shouting him out was part of the equation, but I don't think that fully explains it. So I spent hours researching and watching Van's videos to find out what makes them so unique. And I'm gonna break it down for you. The first thing great about Van is instead of just uploading a bunch of random, unrelated videos, he decided to create a series. In a series, each episode follows the same format. And because of this, the viewer knows what to expect. They know they got some type of value in previous episodes, so they can expect to get similar value in the next one. Think about it like this. The Office follows the same format for almost every episode. Jim and Dwight prank at the beginning, Intro sequence, something goes wrong, we go on a journey to fix said problem, and then the issue is resolved in the end and everyone lives happily ever after, until the next episode. We leave the episode having laughed, learned something new about the characters, and heard a good story. That's the value that we got from that episode, and we can expect to get that value from every episode of The Office. And it's the same with the Spirited Man series as well. We can expect what value we're gonna receive, but it also creates anticipation for the next episode because we want the story to continue. But it goes much, much deeper than that. There are 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute, 30,000 every hour, and 720,000 every day. And out of all of that video content, only a very, very small percentage can be considered original. So many people now are influenced by their favorite creator. They see the success that they have and think in order to find that success, they have to be just like them. But Van doesn't really watch YouTube. He doesn't use much social media. And because of this, he brings a unique perspective and filmmaking style to the platform. Just like Casey pioneered the vlog, Van is pioneering the industrial essay film, which is like a combination of an industrial film and a video essay. Video essays feel personal because the author takes on a persona that's involved in the essay. And because of this, you're aware of the connection between the author and yourself. Traditional films want to hide the fact that somebody is making the movie, whereas video essays are self-reflective and make us notice the construction of the movie. The main point of the video essay is to get someone to think. Van's videos share many of these properties, but they're completely reimagined through his unique lens. Van uses this new format along with the Neistat superpower, story. We all know the Neistat brothers are incredible storytellers, and they prioritize that above everything. Their secret to telling a great story is this, the 3-act structure. They used it in their HBO show, Casey used it in his vlogs, and now Van uses it in his Spirited Man series. This is how it works. The story is broken up into 3 parts. Act 1, the setup. Something goes wrong and the hero needs to fix it. Act 2, the journey and conflict. The hero goes on an adventure to fix said problem. Act 3, the resolution. The hero either succeeds or he fails, and the end. However, Van takes this to the next level. He does this by having a dual narrative. In the dual narrative, there are 2 stories going on at the same time. In the Spirited Man series, Van is usually discussing a certain concept while building something that is related to the concept. This provides 2 narratives for the viewer to watch. We want to better understand the stated concept, but we also want to see him fix or build whatever he's working on. This causes the audience to be more engaged because we're tracking 2 stories. Because Van is able to do all of these things so well, he's doing one of the most powerful things that you can do on the internet. He's building a community. From the very beginning, Van is inviting the viewer to ask themselves, are you spirited? Now, he's not doing this in a salesy way so that you go fund his Kickstarter or go buy his merch. He just truly, genuinely believes that a spirited man knows he's a spirited man. And the comment section of his videos prove this. In just 1 month, he's built a community of people that align and resonate with his message. He's even inspired others to create content about their journey as a spirited man or woman. Creating a community is one of the most powerful things that someone can do on the internet. And Van has done it exceptionally well. But do all of these things make Van a better YouTuber than Casey? I think the best way to explain the difference between Casey and Van is like this. Van is the artist. Artists view the creative process as a spiritual and mystical one. They like to experiment with different approaches, materials, and styles of presentation. The main purpose of an artist is to create and spread beauty. And on the other hand, Casey is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are visionaries that implement ideas that become businesses that revolutionize the way we live. They put great stock into ideas and imaginations, but they also have the ability to bear down for long periods of time until things work. And let me be clear, I'm not saying that Casey isn't an artist or he's not creative. That's ridiculous. I'm saying to be a highly successful YouTuber, you have to be an entrepreneur and an artist. Casey was able to combine both of those elements to dominate YouTube. And that's not to say that Van isn't an entrepreneur, because him starting a YouTube channel and creating a Kickstarter proves that he has that in him. But I would say Casey is the better YouTuber so far because Well, he's been on the platform longer, and he was able to combine the aspects of an artist and entrepreneur. He understands and respects the value of views, likes, and subscribers. Whereas Van has only been on the platform for about a month, and he's creating content for the sole purpose of creativity. However, I do think that we're gonna eventually see Van create content that is optimized for the algorithm, but he's gonna do it in a way that is unique to the Van Neistat style. Van knows online video because he helped pioneer it. Casey said that he was the one that came up with the ideas for iPod's Dirty Secret and Bike Thief, the videos that launched the Neistat brothers on this insane journey. Casey brought people to Van, but people are staying because of Van. He's formed his own community, and he's planted his own flag in the YouTube world. One that's gonna be waving for years to come, according to Van.